Welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to learn extrinsic semiconductors. Now, we have seen in previous video what are intrinsic semiconductors. The drawbacks are, number one, they have intrinsic semiconductors have low conductivity. Therefore, not of use in practical applications. In order to have that, we need to increase the conductivity. So, how do we increase the conductivity? By adding impurity atoms. By adding impurity atoms is what we call it as doping. Therefore, extrinsic semiconductors are formed by adding impurity atoms to a pure intrinsic semiconductor. So, they are also called as doped semiconductors or impure semiconductors. Now, as we have seen, they are of two types, N-type and P-type, based on the impurity atoms doped. And those impurity atoms can be called as dopants. Now, how do we decide these dopants? The dopant size, that means the size of the dopant should be very close to the size of semiconductor material, that is silicon or germanium, so that there will not be any distortion in the lattice structure. So, we have seen the lattice structure. So, that lattice structure should not be distorted. Therefore, we need to have a size of the dopant, that is the impurity atom, very close to the size of the silicon or germanium. Now, based on those dopants, we have N-type and P-type. We will see some of those characteristics and the structures of these N-type and P-type now. The first thing is they have pentavalent impurity atoms added. Pentavalent impurities, and here they will be adding trivalent impurity atoms. Now, what is pentavalent impurity atom? 5 valence electrons, and trivalent impurity atom 3 valence electrons. That means 5th group elements or 3rd group elements. Now, examples, let us consider some examples: arsenic, antimony, phosphorus, etc. for pentavalent impurity, and when it comes to trivalent, we have boron, gallium, indium, aluminum, etc. So, these are some examples. Then, what are the characteristics? They donate 1 electron. Here, these donate 1 electron, and here they will accept an electron in P-type. Because they donate an electron, they become positive ions. They become positive ion and they become negative ion in P-type. And because they donate, these impurity atoms, will call them as donors, that is Nd. And here, because they accept electrons, so we will call these impurity atoms as acceptor, Na. And because they are donating an electron, there is a disturbance created in the equilibrium concentration of electrons in intrinsic semiconductors, that is Ne is equal to Nh. So, that is disturbed, and you will have, because they are donating electrons, electrons will be more in number. Therefore, Ne is greater than Nh. And here, holes will be greater than Ne. because they are accepting an electron, creating a hole. So, hole's concentration will be more, and whichever is more is majority. So, electrons are majority in n-type and holes are minority, and here holes are majority and electrons are minority. Now, in intrinsic semiconductor, the electron hole pairs generated thermally will have certain recombinations when they collide with each other. So, when they collide, recombination takes place. Now, what is the effect of this recombination? We will see a little later. Now, let us see the structure, lattice structure of these n-type and p-type. What do we mean by donating an electron? Now, I have this structure where I have silicon and I have these covalent bonds formed. Now, let us represent this. Here, let us say I take arsenic, one atom is added, and neighboring I have silicon. Then I have these electrons which are strongly bonded. So, we know that silicon has got 4 valence electrons and arsenic has got 5 valence electrons. So, what will happen? The arsenic will form a strong covalent bond and share the 4 valence electrons out of the 5 with the 4 available valence electrons of neighboring silicon. So, 4 of them are shared. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 4 of them are shared with the neighboring silicon. So, here you may have one more, here you have one more, and so this is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 4 silicon atoms. So, the 4 valence electrons out of the 5 of arsenic are strongly bonded, tightly bound, and form strong covalent bonds and share with the neighboring 4 silicon atoms. Then arsenic has got 5 valence electrons, which means there is one more valence electron which is left free to move. So, this forms the free electron, excess free electron donated by the donor atom. So, this becomes the donor atom, arsenic, and that gives one excess electron. So, what is happening? You have, this is at T greater than 0 Kelvin. I will discuss this. So, what is happening? Due to the increase in temperature, there will be electrons hole pair generation due to thermal energy, thermal agitation I will call. So, due to thermal energy, electron hole pair generation will take place, and there is electrons due to excess free electrons donated by donors, donor atoms. Therefore, what is happening? Ne is greater than NH. So, increase in the concentration of electrons is taking place. Now, what will happen to holes? Because of the recombination, what will happen? There will be more number of electrons are there, and there will be more recombination takes place, Therefore, what will happen? Hole concentration will reduce. Therefore, Ne becomes greater than NH also, we can explain. So, that is hole concentration. So, what does that mean? This means the dopant reduces the intrinsic concentration of minority concentration by recombination. What happens to because of recombination? Recombination increases the electron hole pair recombination. Therefore, more electrons, therefore holes will recombine. So, concentration of holes will reduce. Therefore, minority carrier concentration will decrease. So, this is about N-type semiconductor. Now, let us see P-type. So, this is N-type. Now, let us see the same structure of P-type. Now, if you consider the lattice structure once again, what kind of an atom that we are going to add? We are going to add an impurity atom, which is a trivalent impurity atom, and therefore we will have structure like this, where this I will write it as boron, and here we will have silicon. So, here it is a trivalent impurity atom. Now, silicon has got 4 valence electrons. So, it will have 4 valence electrons. So, what will happen? Boron will have how many? 3 valence electrons. So, what will happen? The 3 valence electrons will form a strong covalent bond with the neighboring silicon like this. So, you have, this is also silicon. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 silicons. Now, this one will form a strong covalent bond with 2, 3, 4. So, 3 available valence electrons of boron are forming covalent bonds sharing with the 3, and then here there will be a vacant space where it can, because there is no 4th valence electron in boron. So, the hole is created over here, which means it can accept an electron. So, to accept an electron means what? It is a hole. So, hole is created. So, hole is generated here, which can accept an electron. Therefore, what will happen? The hole concentration will be more than electron concentration. Now, again this is all T greater than 0 Kelvin only we are discussing. So, because of the thermal energy, then what is happening? NH will be equal to electron hole pairs generated due to thermal agitation or thermal energy as the temperature is increasing. So, thermal energy plus holes by acceptor atoms. Therefore, what is happening? Hole concentration will increase, and when the recombination takes place, so holes will increase. So, when holes will increase, then what will happen? Due to recombination, the holes more in number will recombine with electrons. Therefore, electrons will decrease. These are the minority. So, minority will decrease. Thus, there is an increase in the charge carrier concentration of majority carriers either in N-type or in P-type, thus giving rise to increase in the conductivity. But here we need to understand one important point. This increase in conductivity due to increase in charge carriers, either electrons in N-type or holes in P-type, is independent of temperature, increase in the temperature. independent of increase in temperature, but depends on the dopant level, the energy of the dopant atoms. So dopant level, which means what? The increase in the conductivity, because we are increasing the temperature, but the increase in the charge carrier concentration either in N type or in P type is independent of increase in temperature. That means this increase in charge carriers is not because of only temperature or not because of temperature, but it mainly depends on the dopant level. Dopant level means either it is donor energy level or acceptor energy level. Now that we will see in the energy band diagrams here to understand that energy band diagrams. Now let us consider N type. In N type, let's say in intrinsic case, what do we have? Same diagrams we can draw. So this is your valence band and this is your conduction band. And now what you will have? You will have an energy level which is close to the conduction band. I will call this as ED. Now what is this one? EC. This one EV. EV, EC, we know that. So ED. Now this is the donor energy level. Donor energy level. Now how many atoms do we have? ND, concentration of donor atoms. Those many donor atoms that you have. So these are donor atoms. Now these donor atoms will give away one electron. Each donor atom is giving one electron, donating one electron and making it free. So free electrons where do you find? In the conduction band. So they go to the conduction band energy level. Therefore, because they are giving away one electron, they become positive ions. They become positive ions. Now due to the thermal agitation, you already have electrons in the conduction band, and you, because electrons are reaching, you will have, let's say, holes in the valence band. But here, as I have shown you, the electrons will be there because of thermal agitation, and these are electrons because of donor donated electrons. So Ne is increasing than NH. Now what is the gap between EC and EV? That is EG, the energy gap. That is energy gap. So this is how the increase in the charge carriers mainly depends on the donor, how many donor atoms you have and what is the donor energy level, which usually lies close to the conduction band in an N-type semiconductor. This is all for N-type. Now let us understand the same thing for P-type. P-type. Now when I take the diagram, I have once again valence band energy levels and conduction band energy levels. So this is conduction band, this is valence band, and then I have a energy level which is close to the valence band. So this is EV, and this I will write it as EA, acceptor energy level, where how many acceptor atoms I have? Na. So these are acceptor atoms, and here the electrons from the filled valence band will leave and from the valence band, and they join these, they are accepted by these acceptor atoms, therefore they create holes in the valence band. So filled electrons from the valence band will reach the acceptor atoms because they accept and therefore they become negative ions. So they accept and they become negative ions, therefore they are holes created. And due to thermal agitation also you have electrons and holes in the valence band. So basically what is happening here, NH is greater than Ne. So the gap between, this is what is EC. So the gap between EC and EV is Eg. Thus we have seen that there will be electron hole pairs due to thermal energy and holes by the acceptor atoms. So there will be increase in the hole concentration. Thus in either case there is increase in the concentration of majority charge carriers and hence conductivity increases. In the next video I will discuss how these p-type and n-type semiconductors form junctions called diodes, and these devices how they are important for practical applications. Until then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.